Hi everyone, my name is Kesh. Welcome back to my channel. So previously I made a video about what you should be doing to score the band score that you need in the IELTS speaking test. Today we're going to be talking about what you should be doing and shouldn't be doing to score the band score you need in the writing module. Alright, so today we have one of the most talented and expert IELTS trainers in the southern part of India. Her name is Rashmi. Welcome to my channel, Rashmi.
Thank you, Kesh.
So off you go now.
So today we are talking about what we should and we shouldn't be doing in the writing task during the IELTS exam. A lot of us know what we should be doing. We should write in 250 words, we should stick to what the question says, we should use a range of grammar and vocabulary, and we generally train ourselves to practice all this. But there are a few things that we aren't aware or we don't know yet to get the required band score. So these are a few things that we will be discussing.
Yes, right? Yes. Especially the marking criteria. I think it's something that most of the test takers don't understand what they expected from the test.
That's true,
So,
Kish.
yeah. So let's start with the marking criteria. So for example, we have task achievement. There are 4 marking criteria in the IELTS writing test. The first one is the task achievement. So what is task achievement?
So when you're talking about task achievement, you are going to address the question in hand. So generally when you're doing your writing module, you have a question for writing task 1 and a question for writing task 2. So let's look at writing task 2. You have information given to you, a topic statement, and then a question related to it. But a lot of us get stuck only with the topic statement and we start writing immediately without even considering what the question requires us to say.
Yes, exactly. I've also noticed it with most of my students, because as soon as they see the question, they only look at the first part of the question, which is just the given statement, and they ignore the second part of the question, which is where it tells them what to do, what they expected to do in the writing test.
Also, a lot of students just stick to what the 4 or 5 different types of questions are and kind of make an assumption that the question requires us to do only this. But the question would ask you to do a lot more than that. So it is important for you to sit, analyze and understand what the question exactly means and then start working on it.
Yes, I can give an example actually. If the question says, for example, most of us do not live a healthy life these days. This is the given statement, for example. So as soon as people see this, they just start writing about how the lifestyle was in the past and now, what we are doing wrong, all of that. But you need to read the question completely. So maybe the question says, what do you think the reasons are for this problem? What do you think we should be doing to overcome this problem? So here you have 2 questions to address. First, the reasons for this problem and the solution. So it's basically problem and solution.
Yes.
So you need to read the question completely in order to achieve the full marks for this marking criteria, which is task achievement. Well, actually, task response is for task 2.
Yes, that's true.
Task achievement is for task 1, actually.
You're right.
And the other marking criteria is coherence and cohesion. How do you think the test takers can address this marking criteria?
Okay, so actually there is one thing that is really important when you are talking about task response is planning. A lot of us don't plan our time while writing the exam, and we think that the entire time should be devoted to just writing.
Yeah.
But you should be able to divide your time. Make sure that you have enough time at the beginning for planning what you want to or what you intend to write in the writing task, and then you give a certain amount of time, say about 30 minutes, to actually write it, and then give yourself enough time even to edit at the end.
And I would like to add one more point to what you've just said. In terms of coherence, when you already have a plan that obviously addresses all parts of the essay, for example, you should have something to say in the introduction, your opinion basically, or whatever you've decided to say. And your opinion should obviously reflect throughout the essay. So you should if you have a plan, you will have points to mention in the main body, and then also conclusion. So which means that it automatically addresses all the points, which should actually get you marks for coherence, because it's all about making sense.
That is true. Stick to the plan, don't deviate.
Yes. Let's talk about the next marking criteria, which is a lexical resource. So what do you think that means?
Lexical research is nothing but using good vocabulary, using not just the good vocabulary, but also using correct vocabulary.
Yeah.
It should relate to whatever you're talking about.
Yeah.
A lot of times students think that them using sophisticated words would get them the marks that they desire, but it doesn't work that way. Sophisticated words don't mean that they make sense always in what they're writing.
Yeah, and if I can just give an example to what you've just said, let's take the same question that we discussed before, talking about not leading a healthy lifestyle. So if you use the word sedentary with the word lifestyle, this would be a good collocation, because collocation is one of the marking criteria. I mean, it's part of lexical research. So it's not just about words, it's about using the right words in the right places. Co-location, so the words that go together. So the word lifestyle goes very well with sedentary lifestyle. This would get you a very good, this would be an added advantage, to score the band score you need.
That is true, and let's also take another example. So a lot of times we don't know the meanings of words, and we just assume, and a lot of words kind of mean the same, but they aren't. Let's look at indulge and involve.
Yeah.
So indulge. Generally, when you indulge in something, you do it for your own pleasure. You want to do it to relax,
Yeah.
to be happy. And words like, a sentence like, I indulge in drinking wine sometimes, or I indulge in
Getting a massage.
Getting a massage, yes, something that I like.
And you can't say, I indulge myself, or indulged myself in an accident. In this case, the right word would be involve.
Yes.
I was involved in an accident. So you see that this is a very common problem that I come across, that I notice with my students as well. They often get confused between indulge and involve. Yeah.
Something which is very true in the Indian scenario is something called Indianism. A lot of words and phrases we use in the Indian context but does not work globally. For example, we all stick to something called discuss about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I've talked about this in my previous video. Yeah. So it's something that they don't, something that doesn't go well together,
That's
discuss
true.
and about. You discuss something, not about, because discuss already means talk about something.
That
Talking
is
about
true.
something.
The meaning is to talk about. Another phrase or word that they use is I'll explain you.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't explain you. You
Yeah.
explain
Something to somebody.
Yes.
So these are the things you obviously should pay attention to if you want to get full marks for your writing. Okay?
Yes.
Right, so let's talk about grammar range and accuracy. So this is the last marking
Theory.
criteria for writing. So can you give us a glimpse of what grammatical range actually means?
Okay, grammatical range talks about all the structures that you can use in your writing. It would mean using the correct tenses, using conditionals, using complex sentences, and knowing how to use them well in your writing. Just knowing it does not help here. Knowing how to use it correctly works for you.
Can you give us an example, maybe? Maybe that would make more sense.
All right, so let's look at conditionals. So conditionals, when we are talking about, we should use them in our writing. And let's talk about the third conditional.
Yeah.
So third conditional talks about the use of past
Perfect aspect.
Yeah, the past perfect aspect and the future. So how do they merge or mix? Well,
why don't you give us an example, Rashmi?
okay, so let me just think. Let's look at the same scenario where we're talking about healthy lifestyle and what people should and shouldn't do. The government also needs to be involved in this. So let's take this sentence. If the government had educated the people properly, they would have had more awareness of what they should and shouldn't do.
Yeah.
So that is a good
This
sentence.
they refers to the people, the public. Okay? So in this scenario, the government didn't do what they were supposed to do. And because of that, we don't have the awareness that we are supposed to have. So none of them happened. So we are in a way regretting the situation. Okay? So using this kind of complex sentence structures would obviously get you, very good score in the IELTS writing test. And
also, we stick to using small sentences. Rather than breaking your idea in small chunks, it is good that you write one complex sentence using linkers or linking devices and make sure that it has a continued structure to it.
Yeah, and talking of which, can you tell us, what accuracy actually means? What are they talking about?
So, just having grammatical range does not help.
Yes.
You need to be accurate in what you say and the way you say it. So grammar accuracy is important.
For example, for the same sentence we've just talked about, using the third conditional, the first part of the sentence, if you look at the first part of the sentence, what was the sentence again?
If the government had educated.
If the government had educated. So had educated. So this is past perfect. So you should be aware of this grammar point. Otherwise, it's difficult to make this kind of sentence structure. And if you look at the second part, it's future perfect.
Yes.
Would have had more awareness. So you see, this needs to be there as well. It's not just the range, but also accuracy. So it's not that easy, I'm telling you, because those who consider themselves as fluent are not really aware of most of these high-end sentence structures. I've seen a lot of students who think they are very good at writing or speaking, but they don't actually have this accuracy when it comes to writing complex sentence structures.
That is true. They lose the plot while writing.
So these are the kind of stuff you need to keep in mind if you want to score band 7 and above. Okay?
That's true. So let's just summarize whatever we spoke of till now. So when we're talking about getting the band score that you need, you have to take care of all the 4 criteria.
Yes.
The first one being task response or task achievement, depending on which writing task you're dealing with. Then we are talking about your coherence and cohesion.
Yes.
And then the lexical resource and your grammatical range and accuracy. Each one of them is dealt separately and marked separately.
Yeah.
So you should make sure that your essay has all of it and it reflects in every sentence that you write.
Yeah, I think we should probably make a video about how the marking is done. Maybe we can just take one of my students' writing work and show them, how it's marked, how they're marked down, what they're given marks on, all of that stuff. Maybe we can do it in a different video.
Yes.
Yes. This is probably too much for them to take in already. So thank you so much, Rashmi, for coming
You're
over
welcome.
and spending time with us.
Anytime.
And yeah. We're looking forward to working with you more.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys. Thanks for your time. Thanks for
Thank
patiently watching. And if you do want us to make more videos about any of the IELTS stuff, do leave a comment below and we will try and make a video. Thank you.
Thank you.